It's the weekend, it's Mailbag. Oh,
And then guess what? You'll be in control
Oh,
again.
Dave, come on.
Going on every show, mate. Every single show.
Right, I don't know if everyone heard that, but the introduction was the usual. It's the weekend, it's Mailbag. And then Dave played me singing a tune to Atomic Kitten that I did for the day job. You can check
At
that
least
out
you
on
got the
YouTube.
blue.
Go to Bionic Business and watch it. It's a good little advert, actually.
Oh, that's what Matt was talking about last night, is it?
Yeah,
That's what.
saved for my singing voice. Anyway, I am joined by Rob, Dave, and because it's good family fun, Tom and Paul Dargan. I think it's the first time we've had two family members on the same show. It's all going
Tom's
well.
about, Tom's about 30 odd now, isn't he? I remember when he was a little boy walking around the tower.
Are you talking about Paul there?
Yeah. I was going to say, that sounds like a Charles Dickens short story, doesn't it? I remember a little boy.
Yeah, send Tom up the tower. Bad times. Right, so all the questions this week are linked to the takeover, basically. So we'll kick off on that. Little bit of a temperature check on how everyone's feeling. Dave, I know you've spoken at length on several podcasts about this. Do you want to kick off on how you're feeling about it all?
Yeah, I'm sick of it already.
This is how I felt with that Arsenal game last week.
Yeah. No, it's been a bit surreal, I think, actually, that it's finally been done. It's taken that long. We've been thinking that long. We've had that many different companies associated with the club and all that sort of thing. Then the stadium handed over as well, which is Everton clearly have done some decent PR for Christmas, haven't they? So everyone is in a good mood approaching that 5-0 defeat against Chelsea on Sunday. So yeah, it's been great. It's been nice to talk about something positive, hasn't it? Given how like we've won 3 games since about 2001 or something like that. So yeah, everything's been positive, and it's it's interesting because normally I can't stand talking about off the pitch stuff, but we've been doing that for years now. To actually talk about something that's positive off the pitch, which is in Sean Dyche's interest, deterred everybody from thinking that he should be sacked. It's the first job that they do when they come in. So that he seems to have I wouldn't say he's got a brand new chance here, but at least he can go out and try and prove something. If I was him, first thing I'd be doing is try and get Everton playing something different and something where you're really trying to keep your job above anything else, because we've hired some people are coming in there who will change what's going on at the club as quick as they possibly want to. So yeah, it's been a weird feeling week since it all happened, but yeah, pleased, delighted, and let's hope just don't. I've been writing it all. I think I've been writing it all week. Just don't fuck it up.
Well, yeah, this is my thing. I'm obviously happy that it's happened, but I'm sort of tempering things with the fact that how badly it went last time. Rob, surely we can't do that twice. I mean, we are Everton, so we could, but how are you feeling?
Somebody asked me yesterday. Said we've had billionaires taking us over before, like so you've always. Well, mine's put for it was 25 years ago since True Blue Holdings, whatever Ken Wright's mob were called. So we've had it's been on it where we've been not run that well, you could argue, like, and the Peter Johnson years weren't great before that. So you'd hope, and the Americans don't throw loads of money out, but they do know how to run football franchise, don't they? Like so let's hope a decent football franchise and a soccer club. Now, apart from the American aspects, like yeah, it's got to get better. And then the new stadium being handed over, like it's got to be good, hasn't it? You've got to try and think. But although it's hard as an Evertonian, you've got to try and be positive.
Yeah. If we can't be positive now, when can we be? If we can't be positive before it goes tits up, what's the point? Paul, Tom, where are you boys on this?
Well, you first.
You can kick off.
Oh, all right. Kicking off, yeah.
Yeah, kicking off, yeah.
I just think we'll be closer to the Mersey now to actually hang the Reds or the Coppers.
Throw ourselves in.
Thanks, sorry.
So
it actually makes sense then, doesn't it? But yeah, it is as Dave and Rob both saying there. We've had it's almost like false dawns, haven't we? And even I just remember when the Machiri money came in, or oozing off, or wherever it was coming from. And that's, the sort of point where you think, oh, yeah, we can now start to challenge. Well, you can, but money wasn't the problem. It was the decisions that have been made, isn't it? And they're the biggest thing, I think, that's held Everton back, are the bad decisions, because the club almost seems parochial still, and they need to get away from that. I like being the people's club and the fact of the community side of things. That's brilliant, and I never want that to change. But we don't want to be, plucky Everton, 7th place. Let's have an open top bus tour. No, if you're going to do it right, or just fold. Honestly, I think we're at the end of our tether now. And you've got poor, orphan children like Tom, who've never seen us win a thing. You know what I mean? Thinking Everton the mid-table, basically. Last time, 7th we finished in 2017. That seems to be, success, and it isn't.
I've seen us play in Europe, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, you didn't. You saw us play European teams. They didn't actually play, did they? So all we done was the opposition players with elden babies. That's all we did, really. So I think, you just get to that point of no return where you think, what are you doing with this anymore? Let you do it right. Or if this one doesn't work, I am going to honestly knock that down brick by brick and just push it into, or Tranmere can have it if they want, and I'll send it over on one of them new ferries.
I pay good money to see you try and knock that down. I pay very good money to try and see you knock that down.
Anyway, I'll shut up now. Go on, Tom. What are you thinking?
Tom, as a younger toffee, how do you feel about all this? Because it must be weird, sort of just having seen that nonsense growing up as a kid. So going from having Moyes as the only manager you ever knew to what's happened in the last few years, that must have been nuts. At least we all had the 90s to acclimatise.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, when the Matchday money came in, I was excited, but then we had brought Steve Walsh in, who then decided to spend 200 million on free number 10s in a formation where we only played one number 10. And then you've got signing Luckman for 15 million and he doesn't play. You sign all these players and they don't play. And then we got Felwell in, and it looks like we were taking a step forward. And then we're signing Nathan Patterson for 15 million, and now he's I don't know what's going on with him. Calvert-Lewin we signed, and we should have sold him years ago because he's not good enough. And now we're going to lose him for free in the summer. Now with Franklin coming in, I feel like we can take a step forward in the right direction, within a way of we can go and get these young and upcoming players, and we don't have to rely on spending loads of money. We can take inspiration from Brighton. Sign these young up and coming players, and if they don't fit, sell them on for a massive profit and just work our way up to becoming a big team again.
Yeah,
who's Franklin?
What's his name?
Is he coming in with Freakin as well? Franklin?
I don't know who it is.
Freakin.
Do you know what, Les? I was just going to say before.
Relax.
I was going to say before. These have there's something seriously wrong with these coming in, because you've got the perfect example of how not to do things.
Yeah,
you could get a long way at Everton if you just do the opposite of what Matchda's done, what Bill Kenwright ended his time with at the club. You've got the perfect blueprint that you essentially want to burn, but use as your way of going forward. Just do the opposite, and you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. And the one thing I'm really made up about now is that I can use that pun that we are the bastard sons of Dan Friedkin. So, hot topic time. Give us your favourite conspiracy theory. Does anyone know what this story's about? Something that happened in the week?
I read these tweets last night, but I was confused by them. I didn't know what it meant.
You're too excited about Everton. I haven't read any of this news. Go on, what is it?
So, who remembers Lembit Opik?
Oh, yeah. Yes. The one was with the cheeky girl.
Yes. Yeah. So last week, he tweeted that he was haranguing, I think he put that, an M&S employee to ask whether their milk contained bovia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who's worked at a shop will know you actually don't give a fuck what is in any of the products you sell.
No,
you're just there to stack the shelves.
What's bovia?
And he's hassling these people, these staff members in M&S. Well, apparently it's a food additive to stop cows farting. So it cuts the amount of methane they emit, let's say.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's the new conspiracy theory now, apparently. this is linked to Bill Gates and whatever he does with all this kind of stuff. It's always linked back to Bill Gates or someone, isn't it?
Well, it's not me farting though, does.
You could try it. I don't know, mate. Yeah.
You could, if they've got it on draft in the Denby, I might ask for a pint of Bovia.
It does.
Imagine it's on a milkman going round the estate.
I'll have a pint of Bovia and a pint of Badgers Entirely Blameless. That's two half-man, half-biscuit puns I'm putting here today. Yes. Already, I'm 10 minutes in. Anyway, anyone got a favourite conspiracy theory? Rob, go ahead.
The moon one's always good, isn't it? Like that they didn't land on the moon, and it keeps going after all these years. And maybe they didn't. Who knows? Well, but that milk one, it's funny. That was a few weeks back, and everyone was saying. But then when they realised it's all the Arla ones, and you have to boycott milk from every supermarket, nobody can be arsed. Like, you're going to go find a milkman somewhere. Like, oh my god, like nobody can be arsed getting milk from anywhere else. Like, so people soon give up on things. Like.
Yeah, protests only go so far until it's really, really inconvenient, don't they?
Yeah. I can't believe the still flat earthers around as well, like and stuff like that. But I think the internet brings them all together, doesn't it? So they've kind of got bigger. And then COVID, like all these idiots just carry on with stuff like after the COVID jab one, like so. You can just they can chat together and gang together, like so. Where they couldn't do that before.
That's it, isn't it?
Go outside.
Yeah.
Meet people.
They were basically restricted to being boring, weird people in the pub that you didn't speak to. You got cornered at a party. Just on the moon landing one, Stephen said his favourite conspiracy theory is that the Shining was a message from Stanley Kubrick that the moon landing was fake and he filmed it.
That was on my list, that.
Was it? No. Yeah. You need to remember, though, 2001 Space Odyssey is not a documentary.
It's very, it is. It's well worth looking into. Not that I'm, look like my head's on the moon, but it's an interesting sort of theory. Do you know what I mean? Where they filmed it all on one set, and technology wasn't good enough back then to allow it to happen, and he's basically filmed it and stuff. And those things about The Shining, like there's a lot of. I do like the fact that there's a lot of conspiracies on there. It makes it sort of interesting to talk about, doesn't it? And deters from it being a really good film.
Well, Stephen King hated it, didn't he? Because it was 90% different to the book, and not to do.
Was it really? Was it?
Yeah. Every adaptation from a book to a film.
No, that's completely different. That one, Stephen King hated.
Yeah, but think about it. Look at all the Harry Potter books. Yeah, but nothing like the.
Well, films. Now it's going on to J.K. Rowling's conspiracies.
Yeah.
Not every book adapts into a film that's the same as a book. Or no one will watch it.
No, that's different.
The thing about The Shining is the ending of the film is much better than the ending of the book.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
And also the book has weird stuff in, just like it does, where there's like loads of incest and stuff in it. Whoa, cut that out. We're not watching that.
Yeah, there's a bit in it which is like, let's not go there, lads.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah.
So, anyone who's read it will know what we're talking about, but I'm not going to mention it anymore. Paul, Tom, conspiracies?
Well, there's one I heard in work the other day, which I don't get, but there's a very much likeness to it. When Amy Winehouse died in 2009, people were saying that she's reincarnated to look like Lady Gaga, but I don't get the similarities to it. But they've been talking about it in my work all week, and I don't get the difference. Apparently, when Amy Winehouse died, Lady Gaga became bigger and bigger and bigger, making more music. But people are saying they look the dead same, but I don't see it.
Yeah, and people were also saying she was a man, that Shania Twain was a man, blah, blah, blah. It's nonsense. Tom Hanks is involved in Pizzagate. It's just nonsense. People don't...
Actually, Pizzagate being a thing as well.
What's that?
Yeah, Pizzagate actually being a thing.
What's his name? Jeremy Piers Corbyn saying that like loads of people have got kids in like tunnels underground. What? Absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing, just as Rob was saying before, it's, the internet is a breeding ground for psychosis, I think. Yeah, the analysis that you could do of people based off tweets, one person tweets, and that probably mine,
it all stems from you.
But, is it called Room 213? The 5 or 6 conspiracy theories about The Shining. It's on Amazon Prime. It's absolutely.
I've seen that, yeah.
Right. I think me and David spoke about it before,
We have, mate, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So we wrote it.
Yeah. So I was speaking to like a flat earther in what's that pub right by Lime Street Station? You know what I mean? Like I was
The Yale.
Crown, is it? The Crown, is it
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
So it was in there like early last year. And I just listened to the guy, and I know that's quite unusual for me to not say a word, but I genuinely just heard him out.
Did they have something on you?
About
They have some bad stuff on you?
there's loads of people who got bad stuff on me. Mate.
Yeah, but you've let someone have.
Didn't you see the amount of skeletons when he went in that closet this morning?
Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the thing is like I just listened, and I was like almost laughing, but trying to have a decent debate. And when he was saying that the Earth's flat, I said, "How does the sun rise and set then? Where does it go?" So hang on, you're telling me the sun goes underneath a flat? Shut up. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. I couldn't. But again, I wasn't being aggressive. I didn't say shut up. I was saying that I disagree with your point, and that was it. But there's so many like Right Said Fred and all. My God, I know nobody was like hardly the Beatles, but and that's the other thing I was going to say. That all of that stuff has come back to the Paul is dead theory as well, isn't it? In '66.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a good one. Paul McCartney, Avril Lavigne as well. There's one about her, similar thing.
Really?
She got replaced, yeah.
What by Stephen Wise?
By Paul McCartney.
Abbey Road, 28 if, and he was 28. That was the number plate, 28 if he lived.
And they said he would have been 27. He wouldn't have been 28. That's why he shuts it down.
Oh, right.
That's in one of the books, yeah, as it's going on. What the best Beatles book I've ever read, and it's only the first part of it.
The best of
Tune In by I forgot what his name is. I'll show you the book. It's absolutely incredible. It's 1,000 pages, and it only goes up to 1962. And so the second book's meant to be coming out this year, and then it takes him 10 years to write each one of them. It's absolutely incredible. It's called Tune In, like the years of the Beatles. But if you like even just music, because it's all about the psyche and the time and how much between the Stones and the Beatles, didn't like each other, obviously, and still, obviously, Jagger was saying something about them the other week as well, and I was like, what? In the 80s, chill out, it's just gone. Because Lennon just called them a blues tribute band. That was by a seance.
And one more from Ben, not a conspiracy, but I just wonder if we'll ever know the real reason why Dice slapped Patterson and how it all went down.
Can I do mine, by the way?
Oh, yeah,
do yours.
I never done anything.
Oh, go on, Dave. Sorry. Got you out of bed for this. I don't even know.
I've got a list of 5 here, right?
Go ahead.
Right, okay. So the moon have ticked off, haven't we? We're talking about the moon.
Yeah.
Flat Earth we've spoken about. JFK fascinates me. The various theories about that. It just like I could watch hours. I could watch hours upon hours of documentaries on JFK. And
just quickly on that, when I used to work in a video shop, and the film came out, the JFK film with Kevin Costner. Down, some woman kept coming in and saying, "Have you got that JKF film?"
Really?
Yeah. She'd come in.
What kind of video place was it?
She'd come in and ask for it.
Yeah. you dressed as Costner, was it?
You know the story about the fella asking for under the counter stuff, don't you?
What?
So a fella came in asking for, "Have you got anything under the counter?" Which he obviously means like hardcore grot. I didn't. I was 15 at the time. I didn't have a clue. We used to keep the videos under the counter that people had booked. So we keep them back for them and give them the videos. Like, and I was looking on the counter going, "Mate, there's nothing there." And he's like, "No, under the counter." I'm like, I was looking under the counter going, "Honestly, mate, have you booked it?" And a few minutes later, he walked out. It was about 10 years later, I realised. It just came to me like, so anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just came to me. Sure it did.
Writes itself, this stuff. Writes itself. Dave, go ahead. Any more?
What? You'll be in control again.
No, so sorry, I'll finish with it now, Les. We'll just put it at the end. Titanic as well as one of the other ones. There's lots of theories on Titanic that it was really to do with war stuff and all that. That it had loads of nuclear bombs inside it and various things like that. That's worth having a look at if you've got nothing else to do with your life. And I'll be as quickly as possible with this. Paul, you might remember this. On a Sunday when I was at Radio City in the early days, I used to get 20 quid every Sunday night to produce this show. It was called Planet X.
Oh my God, yeah.
You can find it on YouTube. And
Yeah.
mate, it's I know people say I'm out there and like really miserable and you know I can't, like, I'm not optimistic in the slightest. I think this left a lot of that on me because it was essentially they used to do a gig, a festival at the Derbyshire on Edge Lane where they get like proper, like, you know, space cadet types come along to it and all that, but there's a market in there for that. You know what I mean? People make a lot of money through it and all that. So some of the guests that come off every week it'd just be absolute comedy. There was one guy who came from Shrewsbury who was adamant that he found the UFO. He wrote a book on it. There was again something else you can look at on the internet. He's made all sorts of money on it, and it turned out that he made it out of cardboard himself. Put it in the trees in some forest, and then started taking photos of it. And then just going back to the moon one, the one guy we had on the moon. It was fascinating. I'd sit there for 2 hours just watching this, thinking, how is this possible to be on air? And this guy comes on, and he reckons the moon is hollow, and he reckons you can tell that by when Earth or NASA sends a noise towards the moon, it pings because it's hollow. And he was adamant, absolutely adamant, that the Nazis had a base on the opposite side of the moon that obviously none of us can see.
Isn't that the film Iron Sky?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it a COD Zombies map as well?
They needed to start drug testing for people who came into the tower back in that day. But it was so funny, mate. Some of the people you have on every single week. So, but the moon, like everyone's referred to there, was top of my list because I do think that's fascinating. And you know, everything else means the flat Earth. But JFK, I could watch all day long. I think it's the theories on that's really interesting.
And everyone knows the moon's made of cheese anyway. So
yeah, there you go.
Peter has got one as well. Sorry, 777 are acting on behalf of Usmanov and are going to fund us until Trump gets elected and ends the Russian war. Apparently, that's something he's seen.
Some decent things happening there.
So yeah. Right, we will move on from conspiracy theories to Dan has asked, what type of Goodison experience will Mark Watts have on Sunday after 10 minutes of watching Dice Ball? Angry Dar, or the look of boredom, apathy, and dejection, whilst turning to Anna Dunkel and asking, what have we got ourselves into?
Oh, man.
I'm hoping that the Freaking group can build like another pitch of grass, basically about 60 feet above the normal pitch. Dyche won't know what to do then, because he doesn't clearly like playing the ball on grass, does he? So if we have another pitch just hovering, or like attached to the top of the stadium, he won't be able to launch the ball in the air because he's got an aversion to, like, you know, green stuff basically. So yeah, I don't know.
He just likes the players on the grass, not the football.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he wants the goal hovering as well, or that having American owners, they can have the uprights instead from the NFL, can't they? So
I think we'd score even if we had a floating open goal.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Tom, what do you reckon it'll be like on Sunday?
I think the atmosphere will be good. I think the new change for everyone, it'll be a fresh start. But if we do go 1-0 down, it's not going to be nice. But the thing I was going to go back to before was when Newcastle got took over by the Saudis, the first thing that happened, Newcastle went to Tottenham and won 1-0 away. And Steve Bruce got sacked the next day because he said he was the problem. Is Dyche going to say he's the problem, or is he just going to be stubborn as hell and say, I'm not the problem, just give me more, and I'll be able to make us into a European team or something? I don't know.
I wouldn't believe him still, but yeah.
No, but he took Burnley to 7th with the budget they had there. He's a good manager, but he's just out of his depth where he is at the moment.
I've got 60 songs out, and one of them's good. Everyone's got one good thing to do.
Yeah, but you're not a Premier League manager, though, are you?
No, but you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah.
Fair enough. Rob, what do you reckon?
I don't know. Hopefully, with a clearly more functional board, they'll see what it is it is what it is, as everyone says nowadays. It is what it is, and hopefully act and think like, football's supposed to be slightly entertaining.
Occasionally would be nice.
To be.
Your shot, maybe.
Yeah. So
you haven't watched the show.
Oh dear. So if you're selling that as a soccer franchise, I don't know whether it fits in.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough sell to the States, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, when Mashiri came in, what was the first game? Quiz question there. What was the first game he was in for? I actually don't know. That's why I'm asking. I wasn't going to just say, well, I know this about Mashiri.
I thought you were coming in with a big reveal then.
I know, but with Dice, look, it's going to be flying as soon as the kickoff, as soon as Z Cards comes on. People are going to think that the dawn of a new era and all that stuff, which we've mentioned about at least a dozen times in the last 3 decades. We thought that Everton are going to start a brand new trilogy of success rather than looking like Darth Vader. But I feel as if that game. They'll watch these are football guys. They're associated with football guys. You think in depth, and we're doing some shows on this about what happens over at Roma, and what fans think of them. Obviously off the pitch, but also what they've done in regards to recruitment and stuff like that. We were talking about this last night on one of the shows that we're releasing later about how far Sean Dyche has to go or what he has to do to impress them in order to keep his job. I think we're all pretty much in agreement, not to put words in people's mouths, but that he will not be Everton's manager that takes us to Bramley-Moore. So I think with people like this coming in, they have a very Abramovich style, as in, well, Chelsea these days, they'll sack managers if they feel like they need to do so. I don't have a problem with that, given the current one we've got. And you look right now, Chelsea have gone and sorted it out. But I'd if I was him, when you go to Goodison, it reminds me when there's that famous meme of Ancelotti saying "Wow," as all our players walked on and all that. I know, yeah, it was ready that he knew the camera was on him, didn't he? He knew he was being filmed there. But I think that the Freakins will be there and they're saying "Wow" after 5 minutes when we're 4-0 down, thinking what do we throw money into this for?
This Cole Palmer's a good player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, should we go and try and sign him? Any mates with Bowley over there at Chelsea, but Tom's point there about when this happens and these things come to fruition, it should be a day that's positive. It should be something that like I've said to you, no one was fully aware of what happened when Mashiri first came in because they probably prefer to forget it. These guys coming in, I think Goodison will be flying on Sunday, and they've got a lot to work on basically. But watching the football there, given that they've sacked the same amount of managers we have in the last decade, I think they've done. Sorry, since Moyes left, they've sacked 10. We've sacked 8, and there's 2 caretaker managers there. Very, very similar in regards to Mashiri in the amount of managers we've got rid of, but with completely different reasons. So I hope that works out as a positive. And look, if they own a football club where you can, if you can get rid of managers when you want to and when you can, do it. Absolutely do it if it's not good enough. Have a reason to, of course, because there's been times at the back when like Silva, for instance, probably a little bit unlucky to get sacked. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what they go about here. But their first game at Goodison, everybody should be flying about it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. What was the Paul? What was the first game for Mashiri?
Aston Villa 1, Everton 3 on the 1st of March 2016. Funes Mori, Aaron Lennon, and Lukaku got the goals.
3 of the most random scorers for Everton ever.
And Rudy Gested, remember him?
Oh my god! Just quickly on the Freakins before we break for half time. I just hope they get the same drink that Sylvester Stallone got when he visited Goodison that time. Have you ever seen that clip?
No.
He takes a sip of the worst cup of coffee he's ever tasted.
Who last week enjoyed Everton's adulation rather more than he enjoyed their team. Your commentator for JJ.
Bits it back in.
Yeah.
It's Bovril.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
He didn't give Sylvester Stallone a cup of Bovril.
No, but I don't. That's his normal face. He went.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's why his voice is the way it is. But I tell you what, given the people we've got as owners now, you wouldn't put it past them as having some celebrities on at half time.
Oh God, there we go. Yeah. Look forward to that at half time. As long as celebrities doing crossbar challenge, that sound.
Have you not seen on a Como? You know Como in Italy, and then Fabio, the manager, they've had like George Clooney, Peter Knightley, blah blah blah, all these Hollywood actors. Dele Alli's going there as well. And yeah, and yeah. So I was listening to the James Richardson Totally Football show this week when I was walking to work.
You can't promote another podcast, rather.
Yeah, I can because it's James Richardson and Les likes him.
Doesn't bother me.
It's all right, Tom. You got to pay for this.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fine.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's it, and it's it'll be interesting to see, yeah, if you just have someone who's connected to Planet Hollywood or actual people who will have some sort of interest.
I just want to see Les Dennis at Bramley Moore. That'll make me happy. That's all I can ask for.
Les Dennis.
Yeah. Right. we will leave it there for this half of Mailbag. We'll be back soon. We are back with Mailbag with Rob, Paul, Tom, and Dave. Stephen's asked if the Friedkin group or the Franklin group, whoever, brings stability and normality to the club, will you miss the chaos? Dave, will you miss the chaos?
It won't stop, so no.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some of it, you think of what we do for our business and stuff like that. I mean, I think a lot is to do with that, isn't it? A lot relates to that. I mean, you think of some of the, like, Mr. Testicles and stuff like that, who's my idol. Like, I hope all that sort of thing continues, the condom fella and all that sort of thing. Like, I'd be delighted if that stays on. I say, if you mean like literal terms, in terms of chaos, as in like signing mad players and headlocks and all that sort of thing, it'd be a bit of relief if that leaves us. Do you know what I mean? But I think every single one of us there, old or young, will never have Everton in their life when they don't have chaos.
Yeah.
There's always Everton chaos, regardless of what it is. You can just throw it all in one big bag and say Everton chaos. There's always Everton chaos.
Like a bag of fighting cats in a cartoon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tom?
I agree with what Dave's saying there. I just think, once we get into the normality of getting run like a proper football club, maybe the chaos will go away. But I think people need to understand that once these have come in now, it's not just going to turn a switch and now we're going to be like the best team in the country. It's going to take 5-10 years. People are going to be patient with it and they can't expect results straight away. So there will be chaos at the time being, but hopefully people will not get sick of them and stick out with the ownership and not like force them to do any stupid decisions into signing players that are not going to fit the agenda for the 5-year plan.
Yeah. Yes, fair enough. Hopefully we'll swoop in for Vitor Pereira as manager as well now. Just before.
Wasn't he on? He was on talking about them, wasn't he? He was on Sky talking about them.
Was he again?
Yeah, he was on Sky.
Is he throwing his hat in the ring for the job again?
No, I think he was just. He got him in as a guest because he knew them or something like that. I was sitting watching it in work. I only heard bits of it because when you put your attention to something else. And I was like, why is he on? Is he sort of trying to get a new job? He's been linked to Wolves. Has he gone in at Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough then.
He's gone but he was just talking about them because I thought, he's obviously being considered for various jobs, and he was very Everton-like because he'd happily talk to the media about some sort of chaos that'll no doubt come back to haunt him. But when he was on there, I thought, it'll just be to do with the job that he's after and things like that, just selling himself a bit. And underneath it, like we have, what have you got in the back of your head there, Mailbag? It's just the title of what he's talking about. And it just said, Vitor Pereira talks Freakins. I was like, what, someone just done that wrong? But I need to go back and listen to it because I thought, that's a bit fascinating, that.
Maybe it's a new series. It'll just be Pereira Talks Flat Earth. Pereira Talks Milk. Whatever, could be a series.
You watch, he'll come into Wolves and they'll end up doing all right or doing well. and it'll just be because going back to the Everton chaos, probably sliding doors moment either being decent for us. I don't know
Nah,
if that's more, but
the armband weirdo will take him down, definitely.
armband weirdo.
Paul?
I think that could be. You can't have Everton without chaos, can you? It just doesn't like.
Doesn't seem normal.
They're not mutually exclusive at all. It doesn't seem like since sorry, if you wonder why I'm messing around, it's because my slippers fell off and I can't get it back on again. So, and there's me saying, oh, they can't run a football club. I can't even put me, like, I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis being Christy Brown, my left foot. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so let's just see what happens within the next 6 months or before the end of the season. And did you say the only thing you wanted was to have a sponsor for Bramley Moore before?
Me?
What did you say? The only thing, or you just want to get into Bramley Moore? That's the only wish that you've got, you said?
Oh, something about
Bramley Moore.
It was 20 minutes ago. I can't remember. It's gone.
But that's an interesting thing. Now that obviously the Usmanov and Mashiri link has gone, that 30 million that was put onto the balance sheet basically to try and stop them getting a points deduction, that's clearly not, there anymore, is it? So if Americans usually are good at getting sponsorship for things, aren't they? So hopefully that's, putting you into the Man City category of being able to go out and when you have got an extra bit of money to get a striker when you've got 4 at the club who maybe aren't even good enough or whatever. The whole point is really to strip everything back to the bare bones and start again, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it just needs a fresh rebuild, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to happen anyway because everyone's out of contract, so.
Yeah. Well, very true, yeah.
Well, didn't say today, that Rob will probably come into this now, that everybody's got to re-interview for their jobs. And there's obviously a lot of piss taken on staff there that have got to go back in for interviews.
Oh, I hate all that.
What are they going to say? What are they going to say that they've done positively at working at Everton? Apart from like actual staff who did the jobs properly and those at the ticket office and stuff like that and admin stuff. But those who are actually media team, stuff like that, having to go back in for your job. I don't want anybody ever getting sacked apart from no one getting sacked apart from Short Dyson, but you don't want people losing the job.
No.
That sort of thing is it's refreshing thing, should I say. I don't want to sound controversial saying that because I want people to lose their jobs, like I said, but it's refreshing that they want to go in there, like Tom said, and just have just a clean slate and we can just start again.
It is, but I'm not having it when it's coming down to like club staff that aren't like multi-millionaires on the playing staff and are phoning in all the time. I don't agree with having to re-interview for your job.
Not at all. But what I mean is, there's certain individuals there, and Paul probably knows this as well, or if not more than me. There are people at that football club who, I'm not going to say they're not fit for the purpose of the job, but there's people that if you did bad enough at your job, Les, unlike these amazing adverts you've got, if you were to do poorly at your job, I know I've been in that situation there where I've worked and you've not been, you've not been good enough for what you do, you end up losing it. And I suppose the same accounts with the Premier League Football Club as well. Not that I want to see anybody on the ball or whatnot, but
no, absolutely. Yeah.
I tell you what, I bet you Sean Dyche loves a KPI, doesn't he? I bet he talks about KPIs with his players, doesn't he? Sorry, guys, not hit your KPIs this week. I went into Babs Cabs then.
Just on what Dave's saying, like when Dan Ashworth first went to United, that's the first thing he did, and it wasn't playing staff. It was all, there's about 200 it was all just, ordinary staff there. Like, and you could say they were employing too many, but it wasn't a good look. And obviously on the chaos thing, since Dan Ashworth's been at United, everyone was going on about the Glazers, sorry. There's more chaos there now than there ever was, isn't there? Like it's not always a change, and everyone was going mad, get the Glazers out. They're a lot more chaotic now than they've ever been. So it's not always
such a good point.
Yeah, that is a great show.
They're a good little example. But then if you look at Newcastle since Sports Direct Dickhead left and whoever come in, they went suddenly a lot calmer, and so it can work both ways, I suppose. Like,
yeah, the thing I think about it as well is, like, if we do just stabilize and then we plateau as a team who just finished like 10th every season, go out the cups in like the quarter final. Maybe we're out of the European race by March. It'll get that boring that quick, won't it?
That's what Newcastle have done, yeah.
Yes, it will, though, won't it? It's just, yeah, just can feel like it can never be happy.
Well, yeah, Tom's just saying Newcastle peaked too early, and possibly they did, but surely that was if they had that money and the foresight and everything to go into to get somewhere a year ahead of schedule. Whereas Villa have gone down with like 17 points, no more than about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And now look at them in the Champions League, because like Bournemouth and Brighton, and before this, Southampton before this season, obviously, were well run clubs that were able to put the cherry on the top, or even put the cream on top of the cake, and then the cherries to come with the idea of that they're never going to be in the stratosphere of challenging Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal in terms of revenue, and that sort of income, and going out to like Everton tried to go out to California, putting billboards up, and it took about 9 months to sign James Rodriguez, because they were all trying to get the the marquee side of the promotion and stuff done for it. But I think that also makes me like pine. For some people didn't like Ancelotti and whatever it was. I'm just fuming that we never got to see James, for example. Yeah. Also, the fact that had Ancelotti stayed a couple of years, or the Madrid job didn't come, would he still be here now? Would we really actually be needing new owners? Would Moshiri still be seen as doing a good job because the manager and the director of football are who's bringing the players in? So that's why Moshiri had saw the headline and not seen what he said. Had a bit of a parting shot at Deitch, but nobody's either perfect nor totally to blame, I think, because the stupid little things with his, interjecting, bringing El Ghazi in, just probably to, get some fuel for Kia Jarabchian's yacht. Yeah. They're the minds, aren't they? Yeah. And there are good things that happen. Yes, when Ken Wright came in and took all the nonsense away from Peter Johnson, as as Rob was saying before, and you get to a point where you sort of, that sort of, upward curve and plateau, and then sort of happened on the Moyes as well, didn't it? Where he wins, 1 away in 53 against the supposed big four.
Yeah.
And all those little things, it does seem Everton. So you're coming full circle to that chaos never stops. So Everton really need to have a look. And I'm hardly saying it as like, writing a guru book of, how companies should be run, in any entity, whether it's regard the business side, because they are a business now, if you're in the richest football league in the world. But they really need to get Everton back and drill down completely and start building us. Where do we actually want to be? What is this? Tom mentioned the phrase 5-year plan, and all I can see is Flavio Briatore and Warnock at QPR on that documentary, and I do not want that.
No.
What do they actually want? What they want, they have to build it in stages. Yeah. And every time I hear Dan Ashworth's name, I think of Dan Ashcroft from Nathan Barley.
Yeah, that's all I think as well. That's all I see. Dan Ashcroft every time.
The thing is, though, and going back to what my dad has just been saying, then I think if we want to progress, we need to start taking inspiration from other clubs. Look at Crystal Palace, sold Elise. Haven't invested that money in the best, but you look at Brighton, look at Leicester when the year before they won the league. Look at Liverpool, selling Coutinho, buying a back, and now look at
Forest,
Forest as well. Villa, all the teams around us have spent money wisely. We just went out with an open checkbook saying 200 grand a week, 50 million. Yeah, there you go. And this is why we're in the position we're in now, because we were in a well-run club. Steve Walsh decided, let's just go and buy loads of players and make them all try and fit into a system. Like Chelsea last season. Chelsea are good now is because they've got a manager. Yeah. They've got a squad of 55 players, but you can only pick 24 players in a matchday squad. But the thing is, though, Chelsea spent, 1.2, 1.3 billion. But I feel like they've now used that money wisely. because they can fit Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, £200 million players, in a way where they can. Maresca's got the best out of both of them, and I feel like if we got a manager that could come in, build the squad around one or two players like McNeil, like Ndiaye, like Pickford, like Braithwaite, maybe Mangala if he stays, get a base, get a spine in the team, and invest young players around them.
Well, I'm sorry to, like, as if we're taking over. I just mean on the back of that all we want is, again, we're not looking to shoot for the stars straight away. You've got to make it's all right to have that.
We'll hit the back fence.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we needed fuel. What have you put in? Fruit juice. You know what I mean? So it's, everyone's got to be singing from the same hymn sheet, haven't they? And just employ the right people in the right areas, and then make the right decisions. If you're out, I'm not saying Marcel Brands was the right man or wasn't the right man, but if you're going to employ someone and then tell him what to do it yourself.
What's the point?
Save whatever money you pay every year, and they're doing that in every area, aren't they?
So, well, it is just about employing the right people, basically. Just don't make the same mistakes. Going to finish on this from Matt, who tweeted last night. Sounds like a long-time listener, first-time caller. He said, "Hello. What aspect of Texan culture do you think Everton should immediately adopt?" Rob, I'll come to you first on this.
Texan culture. Well, actually, being able to get served at the new stadium would be good if that's Texan culture. Like, actually, being able to get a drink. We're going to get a cold beer, or like you said about the Sylvester Stallone thing, an edible a drinkable hot drink, even like, or an edible sausage roll. Will they do sausage rolls then, or will it be like, I don't know.
I'm hoping
burgers, man. Hey,
barbecue pit.
To the Mersey, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Like, we'd have a big car park at like these American stadiums, everyone turning up, and who knows?
Yeah, I'm all for that.
What are they called outside the
tailgate parties?
The tailgate parties,
Tailgate parties.
Bring it on. Let's have that in the summer, defo.
It's got to be better than now. I mean, you say about the good at Everton chaos. Just actually getting in the ground and getting a drink sometimes, One time he said they won't take cash, they won't take card, only had cash, and you think to yourself, what is going on? It's the modern world, try finding a cash point near Goodison, Jesus. They might even have a cash point at the new stadium.
I was going to say 52,000 ATMs.
Yeah. Dave?
Cowboy culture.
I was thinking this myself.
Just on the store, they're missing out if they don't have like the cowboy hats and the, what are they called, chaps and all that sort of thing.
Assless chaps.
There we go. Don't pull at that thread, Paul. Bloody hell.
Yeah, well, they already did pull at that thread. That's why.
I'm thinking that sort of thing. I just think it'd be a bit of fun, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you have like they bring in a bit of their sort of thing. It's a laugh, and it's very much a bit of frivolity in and around the club, and they're doing this thing, aren't they? When I went to see the club at the Live Buildings a few months ago, when they were sort of taking us around the museum and how they want to transfer that to what's going on at the ground. The concept of it looks amazing, but to include something new, the challenge I think they're going to have, I think we've spoken about this before, Les, is getting everybody to Bramley Moor as early as possible so they can make profit from food, drinks, various things that go on fan base activities and whatnot. That's going to be the hard part, because we were talking about Sandhills. Sandhills is going to have to become the Liverpool-based Euston to get everybody to the ground, because it's going to be chaos to chaos again. It's going to be chaos to get us all there, unless you're coming in from town. In which case, if you're coming in from town, you're going to stop off at about at least a dozen pubs and get your food, so you not want to get into the ground as early as they want you to do. So that side of it, it's what American people are good at. Not to, well, I guess I am stereotyping Americans, but in a very positive way. That is what they're good at, is sales. They're good at food, they're good at drink.
Yeah.
Just embrace all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Paul, Tom?
Tom, I'm going to let you go first, because I want to finish on. I've got a little joke. Go on. You like it, this one?
Just going back to before about saying Americans are good at getting sponsorship, food and drinks. they're good at getting a different variety of options that maybe other countries certainly don't have. And it's just from what I've seen on the telly, watching all these American football games or college football games, the atmosphere is more lively for the duration of 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the ground, having a drink at half time and walking back home, you're there for an hour and a half. If you get, like you were saying before, if you get some entertainment before the game, it'll get people interested in going to the match earlier instead of strolling in 5 minutes before kickoff.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say
So I was just going to say on that before you crack in there, Paul. I think the idea is that you're allowed in, I think 5 hours before and up to 5 hours after, because obviously we're going to have all sorts of different bars, restaurants, and all that. It might not be in 5 hours, but it's certainly maybe 3 hours beforehand. You can get in there for like, I don't know, 11, 12 before the 3 o'clock kickoff and all that sort of thing. They're really good ideas then.
Yeah.
And they're ideas from the club, not so much the Freegans as well. I'm sure they'll adapt their own sort of culture they want to bring along with them as well.
Thinking about getting into the ground 3 hours early and leaving 3 hours late, I'm just thinking Mrs. Doyle now. Maybe I like the misery.
See, the thing is as well, going back to the point I made then, and obviously what Dave just said, Everton is a very community-based club. These try and feed off what the fans' feedback and support. So if you can try and get an idea that most people won't be happy with going into the ground, as Dave said, 5 hours early or staying there 5 hours after, but it's a different option. So what you have at Goodison now, you can stay there for an hour instead. But with obviously what Dave's saying, got restaurants, bars, probably a bit more friendlier staff as well. That'd be a good idea. That the staff that are working long hours and they're on the feet all day, get more staff around them so the queues do go down quicker.
Yeah, so they're not hassled.
Yeah.
Paul, let's finish on your joke.
Jesus Christ.
I've heard that the Freaking group are going for a Chinese approach actually with the food and stuff. And it's a big famous company called Mr. Chow's. And then I looked at how it was spelt. Chow's is spelled CHAOS. Chaos.
Fucking hell, Paul. You can do better than that, mate. Jeez.
Yeah, wrap it up, lads. Wrap it up.
Insert tumbleweed gif. All I want then is the players and management to do all the interviews in the style of text from Alan Partridge. I don't think that's too much to ask.
I didn't know what you said. It froze.
Oh,
I don't know.
It wasn't worth hearing anyway. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, I said
we've got to scrap Z cars for this. Fuck's sake, mate.
Come on,
I
Dave.
see you've got that prepared.
Do you know what? I was like, the technology, talk about technology there. I had my iPhone ready. You know what I was going to play.
I know what you were going to play.
And it didn't work. Can you sing it for us? At least sing it, Les. It's Christmas. Come on.
No, I won't.
You start with 8 cars and then you've gone through the alphabet to get it.
If you want to hear my lovely singing voice, go to Bionic Business on YouTube and watch some of those adverts. Yeah, you won't regret it, honestly. Anyway, Dave's still trying to find it.
The best bit at the end of the video is the tactic. I don't know if anybody's seen it yet.
Art of Tactics board, yeah.
Les does the little song at the end, so the lyrics to the song, or his own version of the song, shall I say? And then he's in the changes, aren't you? And what is it you say at the very end, Les?
I can't remember. It was just
you can.
It was just that song, wasn't it?
No, because you say something else anyway, and he's got the board on, with the little counters that the football managers have, and he just gets the blue one at the end of it and just taps it. And I was thinking, that's Sean Dyche just saying Calvert-Lewin, you're there. It's just exactly the same. Honestly, it looks like he just needs Sean Dyche's head, and it's him. Just then you find out what you said anyway. Go and view it.
Okay, I would
3 million times like I did.
I would like to say I did have a very, very successful career as a football manager. Anyway,
million views now that video, Dave.
That is it for this week's mailbag. Thanks to Rob, thanks to Dave, thanks to Tom, thanks to Paul. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. Thanks to everyone who watches and listens throughout the year.
Be in control again.
There he is. We will,
And guess what? You'll be in control again.
keep it going. And we'll be back next week with the Mailbag Royal Rumble. So we've got as many people involved in that as we can. Otherwise, everyone have a wonderful Christmas and up those festive toffees.